G'day guys, how you going? I'm down here at the concept training facility at Highfields, and we've got Vlad here that's going to run us through a bit about what he does. Thanks for being with us today, Vlad.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Awesome. So you're an elite athlete, an ultra marathon runner, and the trainer for Sydney Blackmore's running festival. Can you tell us a bit about your story and what got you into running?
I was fortunate enough that my parents made a decision when I was quite young to move down to a rural property down in the Snowy Mountains.
Yeah.
You know, it was just...
How old were you when you started?
When I started running consistently, I was probably 10 or 11.
And you didn't start competing for quite a while, but did you?
No, I didn't. When I first competed, I was probably 23.
Yeah.
Because we were so far from town and school, all of our time was taken up getting to and from school. And, you know, back then I wasn't thinking, you know, I want to try and make it to the Olympics for the marathon. I mean, I had no concept of if I was a good runner or a bad runner.
Yeah.
I just really tried to do my best back then, and I was just consistent. We had a pretty difficult upbringing financially.
Yeah.
We lost the house, and you know, we had to rely on food from neighbours and that type of thing. So, you know, in the last 5 or 6 years, I decided to make a serious commitment to trying to run a fast marathon.
Yep.
And I did get to a 2:18 marathon, and I almost made it. Like, I ran an Olympic qualifier. But they took 3 people, and I was like 5th fastest.
So you've done not just marathons, you've gone into some ultra marathons.
Yep.
How long are they for people that might not have a clue?
So it can be anything from, I guess, 43 kilometres and up.
Yeah.
But usually 50 kilometres and up. You know, and I've done probably 15 or 20 races over about 70 or 80 kilometres in the last 2 years. A road running race called Comrades Marathon in South Africa, which is about 90 kilometres. Like, there's over 20,000 people. So
how many hours is that race?
It's about 6 hours for the winning time.
Whoa.
So last year I was 6 hours and 1 minute.
Would you say that's one of your hardest races?
There's been a lot of hard races.
Yeah.
So that Comrades race was particularly hard. The first time I did Comrades race, I just felt not well. I was struggling with my stomach. My hip flexors just gave me absolute grief, and like, I remember just bending over and just cramping up and being in searing pain. Same thing happened to me in one of my Tokyo marathons, and yeah, I mean, there's often tears. Racing at that level of my true potential, yeah, it's hard, and there's a lot of mental strength that comes into it. And like, just in May, I was doing a 100 kilometre race in the Blue Mountains, and I hurt my ankle, like just an acute injury. It was out of my control, like very uneven surfaces in some parts of that race, and I was in that much pain that I physically could not keep going. And I remember that battle of, is it really that bad? What are people going to think of me for having to pull out? And then going, no, this is, I'm done. Like, I can't physically go on. And I remember getting carried out of there, and people everywhere were just so supportive.
What's the thing you look back to, and that's the proud moment for you?
I mean, there was a race called 6 Foot Track, which is a really hard 45k trail race. And when I won that for the first time, that was a great feeling. And then I won it again the next year, and it was an even better feeling.
Yeah. Just
because I guess I had the expectation of, can he go back to back? But I still had, you know, I have a couple of more really good results coming up in the next year or two for these bigger 100k races overseas. So I don't think I've really had it yet.
And yeah, that's what I was about to say. Any you want to share?
Ultra Trail Cape Town in December. It's another 100k race. I want to do my first miler. So that's 160 kilometres, so a 100-mile race. So I want to do my first miler next year.
What's Runlab, and what are you trying to achieve with this?
Runlab was born out of me seeing an opportunity to take an elite approach to run training to the wider community, and I was kind of wanting to bring, like, you know, a modern approach to training, but opening it up to everyone, but having that elite mindset. We train people that are trying to do marathons and half marathons. So road running events, your traditional road running events, 5Ks, 10Ks, everything. But we also are now getting more and more into trail running events.
Yeah.
So these ultras that I'm talking about. So we have specific training groups that train people up for this. So we have training on ovals, we have training on the trails. Our average training age is between 35 and 55, even split male and female. And we have runners that are 5 years old, we have runners that are 70 years old.
Yeah.
It's everyone. But the tagline that I always use and that we've attached to Runlab is achieve your impossible.
What are the different programs you sort of offer down with that?
Yeah, so that's Run Strong. That's
Yep.
the gym strength class that we have for runners. So Run Strong, then we have something called My Run Group, which is interval training for people doing road running events.
Yep.
Then we have My Trail Group, which is exactly the same, interval but for trail. So we do that in the bush. Yeah, so we
Wow.
run in national parks and we have licenses and stuff to allow us to do that. We have Young Guns, which is for our junior runners.
Yeah.
So interval training for young runners. And then we have, we're building really this My Run Lab, which is the ability for people anywhere in the world to be able to access these programs.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
to do it in their own time in
Yeah.
a different way, because not everyone can come to one of our groups
Yeah.
or can do it when we do it.
Big shout out to Vlad for coming in, taking time out of his busy schedule. You can contact him on Runlab or through our page at BMDo, and there'll be more to come from me and him. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks, man.